Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of Cage Report. We've got a very special guest with us this morning, wrestling coach, Mr. Coach Fisher. First state title in school history. I mean, starting off, just what are the emotions?
I mean, it's something that we talked about a long time ago. When I first started coaching here at Prep, coming from Omaha North, that was always the dream. But starting off with the program, it definitely was not in a situation where we were anywhere near close to being ready. So this is year 10. It just took a lot of time, effort, perseverance, and I knew we could get it done with the right coaching staff, the right kids, the right people in place, and we got the right people in, and we got the job done. It's definitely something that I think I've gotten tons of feedback from alumni, the teachers here, the people here that have been here for a really long time are really proud that we finally got it done. It was that one banner that's always been missing. Father Knightsky, the president we used to have, would always give me a hard time. Hey, Fisher, gymnastics even has one. Where's yours? So I finally got that done. I sent him a nice email like, hey, we got it done. You can stop giving me a hard time. But no, I was just super proud of these guys, this group of people, and now all Prep Wrestling alumni can, be proud of this moment. It's exciting.
Absolutely. So obviously, coming into the year, there were a lot of high expectations for the team. This is a long time in the works. You've been talking about you've liked the way that Prep Wrestling had been going for a long time, for a few years at this point. Obviously, last year, runners-up at state. What felt like the turning point in this program? Is there a moment you can pinpoint, or some part of your tenure that you really felt that there was a shift in either the culture or the trajectory of the entire program?
For sure, I'd say last year at state, it was that Friday night, the semifinal night, and the blood round night. So on Friday night, it kind of is determined if, you got the semis. So whoever wins goes to the finals. Whoever loses, you go to the backside for medals. And then there's also, at the same time, what's called the blood round, where you decide, it's that last match to decide if you medal. And we went on that Friday night 9 for 9 in semifinal matches and blood round matches. So at that point, that's when we put up a ton of points, and people were even like, oh, boy, where did this come from? They're going to catch Miller South this year. No one even saw it coming. At that point, that Friday night, it definitely was like, wow, these guys are special. This is something we can build on. And they were all freshmen. We had 8 freshmen in the lineup at that time. That moment, I was like, okay, we're coming. And that's why we kept saying, here comes Prep. We're on the way. But then that Saturday was definitely it just wasn't what we expected. It wasn't what we wanted. We definitely suffered a lot of losses. But that kind of led us to the motivation we needed for this year. That off season, those guys went bananas with their training. We went across the country. I developed a schedule this year to help prepare them a little bit better for the environment of the state tournament. We worked a lot more on our mental game. And we came out this year, we didn't seem like the moment was too big. We were just ready to roll, and I think the results showed that. I mean, we almost set the points record, and we weren't even no one was expecting that either. So between last year and this year, we just continue to rise above the expectations everyone has for us. So I would expect us to continue to do the same.
Yeah, 13 of the 14 weight classes you guys qualified for state. I believe it was 8 semifinalists and 7 finalists.
Yeah, we had. Right, correct. 8 semis, 7 made it to the finals. Mike Navarro was the only one who lost his semi, and he battled back and got 3rd. I'm really proud of the 5 guys that battled back. 11 out of the 12 guys placed in the top 4. And then you got guys like Bodie Knutson. No one had him finishing in the top 6, and everyone had him just outside the top 10 in the state, and he ended up finding his way to the 6th place. Same with Joe Navarro. No one had him anywhere near the top 10, kind of hovering around that, just outside the bubble, and he finishes 4th. So we had some guys definitely, and then we got our main guys, obviously our state champs and guys who got the finals, but it takes the whole team, and I'm really proud of the fact that the whole team ended up peaking at the right time, and we got a lot accomplished, and just really proud of their effort and their ability to rise above adversity.
Yeah, you mentioned during class on Tuesday that Lincoln East performed really well the first day. It wasn't like for sure that you were going to win after day one. When was the moment you kind of realized that you guys were going to win, and how did that feel like?
Yeah, because Lincoln East, my hat's off to them. Their team, every time we look back, they're getting upsets. They're battling. They're getting some points here, points there. Their team depth is so impressive. So they were hanging around. Again, kind of like last year, it's that Friday night that's the separator. Out of 12 matches, we won 11. And after that point, we put up enough points where we found out later that Friday night it was over mathematically. We had got it done. And then Saturday we performed even better. So that really pushed the gap. So Friday night we knew. And then we also knew we were in striking distance of the points record. So that was kind of exciting too. We didn't really think about it or talk about it with the guys, but Friday night with the staff and the families, we were all very excited. It's kind of nice knowing it's all wrapped up. I don't know if some people probably would have liked a little more drama with it. Oh, it's close. Who's gonna win? But I was happy with it. It's wrapped up. It's done. It's ours. Let's finish the job. And that's what was really exciting to see Saturday. Those guys finished the job for the most part. I mean, they all looked great. So.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was mathematically impossible after Friday evening. That
it was.
Oh, wow.
Just by enough. I mean, for them to take us, it was mathematically impossible. Someone tweeted it out. I didn't have time to actually calculate it. I would have loved to take the integral of the three-dimensional space and find the derivative and, find that calculation. But I was too busy scouting and working on our game plans for our guys. But someone told me that night, it's mathematically over and it's ours. So I told them, the banner's coming. Here we go.
I feel like that probably helped the team in terms of like the stress level. I mean, obviously there's the individual, the finalists where you have to focus on your own match. But I mean, did that help any of them in any way of their preparation or their mindset leading up to their final match?
For sure. I think it did. But I mean, we've been put in positions this year where the stress was high and the pressure was on. In Fargo, North Dakota, we had 3 matches left and we needed one of the guys to get a pin or 2 of the guys to win. And we usually don't talk about it. We just let each guy do their thing. And like in Fargo, we ended up, Mike Navarro gets a pin and Adonis gets a decision, and we won the whole tournament by 1 point. Or, in Kansas City, we were at a national tournament with 3 nationally ranked teams above us. And we needed some wins to come through. And we ended up winning by 10 or 11 points after the finals and 3rd and 4th place matches. So it's kind of like the less you talk about it, we just let these guys do what they do. We don't really worry. But if each guy takes care of their job, gets to their maximum potential, and wrestles well, all those team points and team things kind of take care of themselves. So it's something we just we really laser focus on what each guy's game plan is to execute. And we let the team points come. They're going to start stacking up regardless.
Yeah, that kind of feels like how it usually goes with a sport like this, where if everyone does their job, everything kind of seems to fall into place, and that's really how it felt. That's really how it felt all season long.
Yeah, you see that with swimming and track, I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of young guys on the team, obviously. Who sticks out the most to you as a big surprise this year and improved a lot throughout the season?
Probably a freshman like Cam Green coming in at a weight class at 126 with a lot of seniors, older guys, and he started off the year with some losses at Donnybrook and KC Stampede. He had a rough go. And then to see him kind of start in January, turning a corner, beating the number 1 kid from Millard South, starting to rack up wins. He got revenge on a couple kids from Kansas later. And seeing him make the finals and really get it done at the biggest lights as a freshman, I know that really was a standout for me. And then also seeing, JT Smith and Colton get back to the finals and finish the job. And not only just finish the job, they dominated.
Wasn't even close.
Their matches.
Yeah.
Dominated. So to see their mindset really kind of shift a little bit, and they were relaxed, they were confident. Seeing those 2 guys get it done. I mean, obviously we knew Cruiser Dominguez was coming in, and he's a guy, but once you really watch, I mean, he's a dog. He is going to physically put you in a spot where you want to quit. So we knew he was going to be good, but that was kind of surprising to answer your question too. Like just to watch him go through that whole tournament, he spent 5 minutes on the mat total. It was like 5 minutes something out of 4 matches, which is just insane. And then in the finals, just taking the Brian kid who's a senior and just cradling him up, pinning him first period. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot. I mean, and then like I already mentioned, Joe and Bodie finishing the season placers was huge. There's so many talented guys on this team. It's fun. I'm so excited for next year and this offseason to see where we go.
Yeah, that perfectly leads into what we were going to ask you next. What does this kind of win really mean for the program? Obviously, you finally got over the first hump of getting the banner up, but looking onward past this year, obviously so much young talent. You mentioned both Cam Green and Cruiser Dominguez, both freshmen.
Yeah. And a lot of sophomores.
A lot of sophomores. Cole Caniglia, JT Smith, Roberto, all those guys in the finals and Miles as well. Yeah, Miles Sanchez as well.
Came out man on fire. He had a takedown at that state tournament with no time remaining. There was 1 second left on the clock. I know they were playing it at the lunchtime, and he got that done. It's the Miles magic. Him making the finals and wrestling Dortch to 1-0. I know it's not what we wanted, but he had a heck of a year in a state tournament. And wrestling with a dislocated finger that the tendons couldn't keep his knuckle in, so he's trying to wrestle with an extreme amount of pain. And he found a way to make it that far. It's really impressive. We have so many impressive guys. And then Kieran Ackerson coming back, tough quarterfinal loss, beating that guy in the third, fourth place match. Like there's so many things to build off of. I know those guys are going to be hungry to get their titles too. Same with Kobe Streeter. Like these guys we're going to have some guys they're still unfinished business, for sure. And the goal for this team probably, we're going to be trying to set every record in that book, record book, and we want it all to say Creighton Prep. We're going to try to get rid of every other team. It's all going to say Creighton Prep from here out. We're going to take this team to the country. We want to be known as a national powerhouse by the end of it.
Absolutely. You mentioned all this young talent. How are they going to be able to build on what they've already accomplished going for it? Like 7 or 6 of the 7 finalists were non-seniors.
Correct. Adonis was the only senior.
Obviously, there's a lot of change with the new year. What kinds of gaps or who's going to be able to fill the absence of someone like Adonis? And if I'm able to ask, but how do the weight classes shift around? Just
absolutely.
Yeah.
If you look in the hallways right now, there's some guys with a lot fuller cheeks. I think a lot of guys have snacks in their hands. Some weight classes definitely will change. And with being young guys, there's growth. Like they're going to grow. So we can't fight that forever. You can't make them cut past that. And we don't kind of emphasize tons of weight cutting. Guys are at their optimum when they're not losing more than 5 pounds a week, So we try to keep it around there if possible. What we're going to do, we also have the best JV team in the state. We won every single tournament we went to. The JV one, it's called JV State at Bell West. We dominated it. I took the JV team to varsity level tournaments at Roncalli with all varsity teams from Lincoln and Roncalli, some Class B. They won it. We also won this Class C dual, or we got second at this Class C dual tournament. And this JV team is stacked. I have guys that are state qualifiers, potential medalists behind our other medalists. It's going to be. Our depth is crazy. We have some guys who are going to step up, and we have some guys that are hungry to step up. So I'm excited to see where these JV guys want to fill in. They got to show they're ready. They got to win some wrestle-offs. They got to have a full off season. So the level of competition in my room right now is the highest it's ever been, is from top to bottom, and that's huge to our. That's a huge testament to our coaching at all levels, varsity and JV. But right now, these sophomores though are about to enter their recruiting seasons. So colleges can start talking to them this summer. So their motivation right now is to definitely get their name out there, get their film up to date with high quality wins. So that's why we're going to be traveling the country in the summer, the fall, and during our season, because a lot of them have big dreams of, I want to go wrestle Big 10 wrestling. I want to wrestle Big 12 wrestling. I want to wrestle D1. So to do that, you got to really get your name out there. It's hard competition because Nebraska in general is not known for, I mean, we're getting better, but it's not like a powerhouse state in general, you know what I mean, for wrestling. You know, that's Pennsylvania, that's Iowa, that's California, New Jersey, Ohio. So, like, we got to get our names out there. So that's what our plan is, and I think that keeps them highly motivated. They have we have the best partners in the state because these guys are so competitive. I mean, the fireworks between Cole and Cruiser, I mean, Kobe and Cam, Kieran and Miles, like these guys are just scrapping. So it's exciting to see the iron sharpens iron, as the saying goes.
Anything, one more, Colton?
So after winning the state title, what is the mood around the team, would you say?
I mean, these guys are rock stars around the school. It seems like everybody's, high-fiving them. I think they're enjoying the moment. The mood's high right now. That's why they're, I think someone said a 10,000 calorie eating challenge. I don't know. They're doing all kinds of stuff. I don't even know if that's possible. But so they're enjoying their food. They're enjoying some time off. But I'd say within next week, we got to start getting ready for a national tournament in April. You got Fargo, Freestyle Greco in the summer. There's some big tournaments coming up that'll get them national recognition and D1 looks. So the wheels are good right now, but we got to start putting the gas pedal back down again. So we'll get back at it. But the mood right now is really high. We're very excited right now as a team, as a staff, the parents, the families, the alumni. Everyone's really excited. So we got to strike while the iron's hot. We'll keep it rolling. Hopefully some really good off-season success will keep propelling us into next season where it should be another great one.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Coach. First wrestling state title in Creighton Prep School history. Congratulations once again. But as you said, as your message loud and clear, job not finished. So
Job not finished.
Thank you all so much for tuning in this morning. Last, one more thank you to Mr. Fisher for his time. But we will sign things off from us here this morning.
Go do your calc homework.
Yeah, we'll go get that done. But yes, thank you all so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And we will see you next week for a wrap up for the basketball season and a possible state tournament preview. So thank you all so much and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, guys. Solid. Well done. You guys are professionals.
And then get the other guys.